Good morning. A devastating 6.0 magnitude earthquake just rocked Afghanistan, killing at least 9 people, with hundreds more feared dead. I'm Remo, and this is the Daily Signal for September 1st, 2025.
Unfiltered. Now,
Here are the other top stories for September 1st, 2025. Ukraine's President Zelensky announces a major arrest in the shocking assassination of pro-Western politician Andriy Parubi. Iran-backed Houthis vow brutal revenge after Israeli airstrikes kill multiple senior officials. Breaking overnight, the global Sumud flotilla sets sail from Barcelona, destination Gaza Strip. Israel confirms they've eliminated the longtime military spokesman of Hamas in targeted strike. Historic diplomatic shift as Modi and Xi Jinping declare India and China are partners, not rivals. Urgent humanitarian crisis as Houthis storm UN agencies in Yemen, detaining international staff. Zelensky promises immediate retaliation after massive Russian strikes leave 60,000 Ukrainian homes powerless. Indonesian government pledges to strip lawmakers of luxury perks after deadly protests kill 6 demonstrators. Critical escalation as Palestinians flee mass bombardment of Gaza City, with dozens confirmed dead. Now let's dive into each story with the details that matter to you. Here's what happened overnight. A powerful 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck northeastern Afghanistan near the Pakistan border at 8 kilometers deep. The confirmed death toll stands at 9 people, including children, with 25 injured across Nangarhar and Kunar provinces. But here's the terrifying reality. U.S. Geological Survey estimates warn the final death toll could reach between 100 and 1,000 people. Why this number is so staggering? Over 67,000 people live in the immediate impact zone, and Afghanistan's earthquake response infrastructure remains devastated from decades of conflict. This region sits on the volatile Hindu-Kush fault line. Just 2 years ago, in October 2023, a similar 6.3 magnitude quake in western Afghanistan killed over 2,000 people. The earthquake was felt across Pakistan's border regions and northern India. Rescue teams are racing against time, but Taliban authorities have limited resources for mass casualty events. Why this matters to you? Afghanistan's humanitarian crisis affects global aid distribution and refugee movements that impact neighboring countries and international stability. Breaking developments from Kyiv. President Zelensky has announced the arrest of suspects in the assassination of Andriy Parubi, one of Ukraine's most prominent pro-Western politicians. Here's what we know. Parubi was a founding member of Ukraine's nationalist movement and former parliamentary speaker who strongly advocated for NATO membership and EU integration. The arrest represents a major breakthrough in what officials are calling a politically motivated assassination designed to destabilize Ukraine's pro-Western government structure. This connects to broader concerns about Russian-backed operations targeting Ukrainian political leaders. Parubi's death sent shockwaves through Ukraine's political establishment. Critical detail: the timing of this arrest comes as Ukraine seeks to demonstrate internal stability while requesting continued international military support. Why this matters? Political assassinations of pro-Western figures signal potential escalation in hybrid warfare tactics that could spread to other Eastern European nations supporting Ukraine. The Iran-backed Houthis are promising devastating revenge after Israeli airstrikes killed multiple senior officials in their leadership structure. Key development: this represents one of the most significant decapitation strikes against Houthi leadership, potentially disrupting their command and control operations. The Houthis' revenge threat specifically targets Israeli infrastructure and shipping lanes in the Red Sea, a critical global trade route handling 12% of world commerce. Here's the economic impact you need to know. Any escalation in Red Sea attacks could spike global oil prices and shipping costs within days. The timing is strategic. This comes as regional tensions peak with ongoing conflicts in Gaza and Lebanon, potentially opening a new front. Critical context: the Houthis have sophisticated drone and missile capabilities provided by Iran, making their retaliation threats credible and immediate. Why this matters to your daily life? Red Sea shipping disruptions directly affect fuel costs, consumer goods prices, and global economic stability. The global Sumud flotilla has departed Barcelona harbor, setting course for Gaza in direct challenge to the Israeli naval blockade. Breaking detail: this flotilla carries international activists, journalists, and humanitarian supplies, creating a potential flashpoint for international maritime law. The word sumud means steadfastness in Arabic, chosen deliberately to signal this mission's resistance narrative. Historical context you need. Previous Gaza flotillas have triggered international incidents, including the 2010 Mavi Marmara incident that killed 9 activists. Here's the diplomatic complexity. European ports allowing departure creates tensions between EU nations and Israel, while the flotilla is in international waters. The flotilla's route takes them through increasingly militarized Mediterranean waters, where Israeli naval forces maintain constant patrols. Why this escalates tension? Any confrontation could trigger wider diplomatic crisis between Israel and European governments supporting humanitarian access. Israel confirms the targeted killing of Hamas's longtime military wing spokesman in what officials call a precision intelligence operation. This represents a significant blow to Hamas's propaganda and communication capabilities during active conflict operations. The spokesman served as the primary voice for Hamas's military strategy and public messaging for over a decade. Critical timing. This elimination comes as Hamas struggles to maintain command structure and public communications under intense military pressure. Why this matters: disrupting Hamas's media operations affects their ability to coordinate internationally and maintain morale. In a stunning diplomatic reversal, Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping have jointly declared that India and China are partners, not rivals. This represents the most significant thaw in India-China relations since their deadly border clashes in 2020 that killed dozens of soldiers. Economic context. These two nations represent 36% of global population and massive trade potential that's been stunted by political tensions. The joint statement specifically addresses border disputes, trade cooperation, and regional stability in South Asia. Why this changes everything. A India-China partnership could reshape global economic and political power structures, affecting U.S. influence in the region. Here's what connects today's stories. We're witnessing a dangerous escalation in multiple global flashpoints simultaneously. The pattern emerging, from Afghanistan's natural disasters to political assassinations in Ukraine, from maritime tensions in the Red Sea to diplomatic shifts in Asia, traditional stability mechanisms are breaking down. 3 critical themes you need to remember. First, humanitarian crises are multiplying faster than international response capabilities. Afghanistan's earthquake exposes how conflict zones become death traps during natural disasters. Second, regional conflicts are going global. What happens in Gaza affects Mediterranean shipping. What happens in Ukraine influences Middle Eastern alliances. Third, traditional diplomatic partnerships are shifting rapidly. The India-China breakthrough could reshape global trade and military alliances within months. Here's what this means for you. Expect continued volatility in energy prices, food costs, and supply chains. But also, watch for new opportunities as traditional barriers break down. The biggest takeaway: we're not just covering isolated news events, we're tracking the real-time reshaping of global power structures. This has been the Daily Signal. I'm Remo. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you tomorrow with breaking updates on these developing stories. Subscribe for daily updates and share this with someone who needs to stay ahead of global events. Until tomorrow, stay sharp.
Unfiltered.